Good evening,
Good,
everyone.
good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. We are all set for the live broadcast stream of today's Louis Committee meeting at 6 p.m. on HPA-TV, Comcast, and Frontier Government Channels 96 and 6032. It would also be streamed via hpa-tv.org, the HPA-TV Facebook page, and HPA-TV's Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon TV apps. It would also be rebroadcast and made available on the HPA-TV YouTube channel. Okay, great. So let me introduce everyone here. First, we have voting member Councilwoman Marilyn Rossetti. We have Director of Human Resources, Marlene Fleeting. We have Deputy Director Deb Carabillo. And then we have Corporation Counsel Daniel Combs. So first item on the agenda, well, the only item on the agenda is Mayor Bronin with a company resolution to approve a tentative agreement between the City of Hartford and the Municipal Lawyers Association. So we have a few folks here, and who's going to speak on this item first?
I can.
All right, the floor is yours.
Okay. So as Councilman Rossetti knows a little bit, because she had the pleasure of joining us one time for a mediation, we have been in negotiations with our Lawyers Association for quite some time. In 2021, their contract expired. We did enter into interest arbitration, but we went to mediation first under the MARB statutes. And as a result of that mediation, we have been able to come to a tentative agreement. Most of the changes, other than the wages, are just cleanup changes of the contract. And then the big piece of this is wages. It is a 4% general wage increase retroactive back to January 2022. And then there is a 2% thereafter, and a 2.5% retroactive to July 1, 2023, and another 2.5% July 1, 2024. This agreement also provides for a bump up in the maximum. The lawyers have a min-max range, and they can be hired anywhere within that min-max range. We did some comparability, and after several years of zeros, our attorneys' salaries are no longer competitive with other municipalities. So we took a look at that, and we adjusted the minimum and maximums to get them more competitive so that we can attract and retain our attorneys. That's also a reason why we gave a little bit more of a higher bump up originally in the early years, so that we could get our attorneys a little bit more competitive with our peers. The overall cost for the duration of the collective bargaining agreement is $232,000. We have 9 positions budgeted that are covered under this contract, and there's currently 8 filled. I think that's all I have at the moment, unless you have questions for us.
All right, great. Thank you for that. Anybody have any questions? Councilwoman Rossetti, you have any questions?
I just want to make a statement. As Deputy Director pointed out, I did get to sit in, and I do have to say, deep respect for the Corporation Counsel's office. Listening to both sides, difficult, negotiations are never easy. Deep respect for our department and Deputy Director and her colleagues who do the work they do. But I think, as she pointed out too, we want to keep, bright, young or not young, new attorneys like, Attorney Combs. We want to be competitive. We want to be a city where we can see someone grow into a position. I think anybody'd like to see that. So I appreciate all the time and effort both sides put into it. And I do have a new respect. Not only I always had a respect for the work Corp Counsel did but dealing with Deputy Director and her colleagues, and certainly Director Fleeting, I want to just say how impressed I was about the process. So thank you for allowing me to do that. And that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Don't ask me again, though, please.
So, all right, the chair, seeing no other comments, the chair will entertain a motion.
And I'll second that.
I'll say it. Motion has been made and properly second. Any comments? See-
Just a point,
yes.
just a point of parliamentary procedure. Just want to know exactly what the motion was, just to clarify.
Oh, yep.
All right, I think Councilwoman Rossetti, would you like to go again?
Yeah, well, the motion, you made the motion. The motion would be for favorable, correct, Councilman LeBron?
Yeah, favorable recommendation, yes.
And then I second that motion.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Corporation Council. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let the record reflect that the resolution will be sent back to the General Council meeting with a favorable recommendation.
May I just point out one thing? I just want to let you know, I think it was in the letter, but under the statutes, the general statutes for arbitration, the city council can act on the tentative agreement within 44 days. Tomorrow is the 44th day. So technically, this contract does go into effect tomorrow. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't know the rules and all of that, so.
Yeah, Councilman LeBron pointed that out. saying-
Okay.
Yes, so thank you, Deb, for pointing that out. We were aware of that, but I think in terms of processes, it's important for us to discuss these things and for it to go through committee so we can ask the general questions of the voting members. So, but thank you, Ms. Caraballo.
And we'd
Yeah.
like to think that hundreds of people are watching, listening to us, so they understand also what we're voting on.
I think it's only 99 today, but yes.
Okay, all right.
No, I think it's great that we're at least discussing it and, you know, going over it because it was important. It was a lot of work went into this on both sides. And I'm really proud of the tentative agreement that we were able to come to.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so seeing no other items on the agenda, we'll postpone the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and thank you for all your efforts and your continued efforts for the city.
Thank
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right. All right.
Motion to
Take care,
adjourn.
everyone.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, bye.